What it do, what it could be. Hopefully this is what it should be. I'm Sticks by the Way, your host of Busy in Music, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's LEG, and we got a special ghost in the building, our guest host today.
Mando X.
Hey, it's Mando.
Yeah, no.
We up in this thing.
Any relation? Stupid young?
Nah.
Sorry, when I read it, that's how I read it. Like, I had to read it that way.
Yeah.
I was like, Mando.
Mando.
We got Mando.
Mando. Nah, it's Mando.
Yep.
It's Mando. Yeah.
All right, Mando, where you up out?
I'm from Long Beach, California. I was born and raised. You know what I mean? Been there ever since, as an upcoming artist, like, I started in high school, fell off, and then came back into it because of the fact that, my cousin started doing it. So then I started following the trend, pass it along to my sister. My sister started following that along too. So, here we are.
What does your sister do?
Huh?
You said you passed it on to your sister. What is?
City G.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So.
What's her name?
City G.
Okay, she's a rapper or a singer?
Yeah, she is a rapper and a singer.
That's what I'm talking about. So she's okay. I like that.
She's only 19 years old, so it was like she thought that it was okay for her to follow the trend in the family. So, as far as recording studios and all that, she always liked me there to guide her or to give her advice on how to record. So
that's what's up.
So you're her executive producer.
You can say that, yeah. You can say, yeah, you can say that, yeah.
She give you points off of it?
She always does. She always wants, like right now, we're working on a new track. We don't know what we want to call it yet, but she definitely always wants to bring me in as a feature or a collab in her music. So I'm always welcome, and I'm always telling her, don't ever let anyone tell you, like, you can't do it, or, on how to do it, because what you do is what you feel. So, you got to go with what you do. You got to go with what you feel. You got to go.
That's what's up. And when you said points, what kind of points were you talking about? Like
I was talking he gets percentage.
That's what I thought you meant. But I wasn't
Are you
sure.
like, yo, you owe me like at least 3% because
Nah,
I contributed to your album?
Nah, hell nah.
Or is it like, fuck it, you're my family, I got you?
Yeah. It's like, I told her, it's like, as far as like when we hit studio time, as far as like the new producer that we go to, Can't Get Rich, we do go have some studio time, but we make sure that we rehearse and we practice, so that when we go in there, we knock it down and we get it right.
Hey.
So that way we don't wasting a lot of money on studio time. But Can't Get Rich is my boy, you feel me? So it's like, we go in, get the shit done, we hop out, and then he does his thing, and then we have a release date.
All right, so we already see that you don't take points when you go in here. So do you all at least go in the studio with split sheets with the producer to make sure that the producer isn't going to try to take control of the song and say, this is actually my shit, I did this. Like, y'all have it written down where it's like, she is the writer of the song, he produced the beat. Y'all break down who owns what.
We she usually listens to YouTube beats, and we send it over to him, so he remakes them. So every time we send him beats to remake, we own every right to our beat. So he doesn't take credit for any of that. We just pay him for the studio time and for the engineering and mixing.
That's what's up.
We went into like a serious conversation about like music rights and stuff. Well, I was just joking, like, since it's your family, you're still charging her. Because I always joke, like, I was like, I don't care who shows up at my event. It could be my own mother. I'm charging her. You need a ticket, or I'm charging you. Like,
no, yeah.
I only took it down the road because the conversation of the producer came into play. So I was just like, well, we gonna speak on him. What's going on with him too? That's all. But grab your champagne, take a sip.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you can sit it there and we'll finish it for you. Don't worry about it. I know you're just trying to get a taste. But
champagne won't be wasted here. So.
Cheers.
Cheers.
As far as like the producer, like, he's a real cool cat. I met him a while back at a gathering at Beach Park in Long Beach. So I got in touch with him because one of my buddies, Ronnie D. King, so he referred me to him. Then I started recording with him after the fact that Raw Culture Records didn't want to record with me no more because of the fact that I had asked for my money back because they were trying to build up merch. They promised me many dates, and I didn't see nothing. I wasn't seeing no merch. I wasn't seeing nothing. So I asked for my money back, and then one day we were trying to record, so we reached out, and they were like, "We're not working with y'all." So I asked, "What was the problem?" Never gave us an answer what the problem was. So I assumed it had to do with the money. So I just kept it moving. You know, there's more producers, there's more people out there, there's more people to network with. But I do wish him the best. He was a good producer. Raw, that's his name, Political Garbage. You know what I mean? He's an amazing producer. So he has his reason why he didn't want to work. So I just kept it going on my own.
And is the new producer that you're with, is he also out of Long Beach?
No, he's actually in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you say you've been doing this for a minute. What's a minute now? Because right now we're in 2021. So how long have you been doing music? I started in 2013, senior year of high school. I had dropped a little snippet of what I was working on, and I had a producer. His name was Matthew Pua. Shout out to Matthew Pua. I know he's gonna be listening to this, you know, and you know, it has inspired me because of the way he produced it, because it was out of his own bedroom, you know, his parents' house. So I kept it going, you know, and after high school, I stopped doing music because of the fact that I got into a relationship with this girl, happened to have a baby, and then got involved in the streets and got involved into, you know, selling all kinds of shit, and then
got involved in the streets after having the baby?
No,
you going
before.
backwards. Oh, there you go.
Before having the
baby. Baby's supposed to bring you out of the streets.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So before having the baby, I was involved into the streets. I'm not no gangbanger or anything like that, you know. But as far as like, you know, selling, you know, drugs and all that, that's what I used to do because I got kicked out of my mom's. And she had nowhere to go to. She used to live on Rosecrans and all that. So she came along with me, and I was selling all this and all that. And she actually had a 9-to-5 job, and we were living out of a car. So that's how we were making money, you know. And then we had a baby. You know, we had a baby. So I got my shit together. I stopped selling bullshit. But the script flipped on me. As far as selling bullshit, the bullshit got to be sold on me, so I fell into the drugs.
That's a crazy twist right there.
You know, so instead of me selling, I started buying, and I started consuming, and sadly, I lost my family to that.
Oh, so you end up consuming in the midst of you having a baby?
Yeah. So I started consuming. Coke a lot. You know, and that's what made my family stay away from me as far as the mother of my child and my child not being in my life now. Mm-hmm. You know, so I ended up in ICU not so long ago, back in August this year, and they were talking about open heart surgery, and you might not wake up, you might not, you know, be able to speak for yourself, so I had to sign a lot of papers, mm-hmm. You know, and then that came to a really big wake-up call for me. And as far as them talking about open heart surgery, also gave me a big wake-up call, you know. So came back to the music because of the fact that I was grieving for so long, and now all that I got is my son to inspire me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that, yeah, I used to go to work and be a good provider or a good father. Nah, I'm gonna sit here and tell you the truth. I wasn't a good provider.
And you say all that led you to coming back to music?
Yeah.
I understand, because for me, I understand music as therapy, either whether it's you consuming it or whether it's you putting it out. Because a lot of people need a way to talk about it, and people aren't comfortable talking to other people with it. So, is that what drove you back to the music, going through all of that? And because I heard you say earlier that your music is a reflection of that.
Yeah. Every song I have just one song right now that I was able to get through DistroKid and then streaming on all platforms. It's called Life's a Trip. But I have a lot of music that isn't released that I'm going to be releasing soon. But yeah, definitely my son was a big impact. Not just my son, but the fact that I had to be in ICU, you know, and be surrounded by a lot of doctors and pretty much telling me that my life is in danger, that my life is pretty much, you know, I'm sitting in my deathbed. So it's like, do I really want my son to remember me for, you know, daddy's being a drug addict or daddy was a drug addict and that's why he passed away? Or do I give my shit straight, you know, and I do what's more passionate to me and make music and stop the bullshit and keep it going with music?
And
Glad you chose music.
for real,
No, yeah.
I appreciate that shit because I'm glad that you processed that. Because there's an artist out there right now. You probably know who he is. Do Knows?
Yeah, Do Knows World?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I watch him, and for one, like I watch him, and overall watching him is one of those. He's just like, you know, my dad wasn't there. You know, he was a crackhead fool. Like, you know, like that fool. If you ask him right now, you know, that fool probably come here and steal everything right now. You know, he's a fucking crackhead. You know, like,
Damn.
and that's a cold perspective for your child to have of you.
Yeah.
You know, so. And like that doesn't even ring my bells all the time. But the fact that you just said what you said, saying that you had to make that decision and had to have that realization of shit, my son could possibly just think that I'm a failure and just out here, I'll die because of drugs, and it switched your life up. I'm happy that you learned that and that caught on to you so quickly because your son could be thinking that. And your son could just be thinking of you as a lame ass nobody. You feel me?
Exactly.
So, good shit. I'm proud of you for that. Switch around.
Shit, as far as you saying, like, Duno and, you know, his father and all that, I ain't never met my father. You know what I mean? And, like, how I told the mother of my child, I don't want my son growing not knowing who his daddy is. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad that you made music and you chose to come out with Life's a Trip because that's a therapy for you. Every time you feel like life is fucked up and you want to just do something stupid, go back to writing a song about it. You feel me?
Exactly.
You can even write a song about the moment of how you want to just go out and do something stupid. But allow yourself to remain in this, and focus in this situation that you're in right now because it's going to continue to prosper for you. Right now, you're looking good, you're looking healthy. I would have never known that you was going through what you had went through without you telling me.
Exactly.
You feel me? Which means you're on that right path. Stay on it.
I'm staying on it, man. It is at that point now that you're bringing it up. You know, like, we talk about, like, you know, getting to understand each other because of the fact that, you know, you are where you are because you chose what you chose, and along with decisions comes with consequences, you know. So, you know, I'm still here. You know, I'm still here in Long Beach. You know, I'm still here doing what I do. I'm still passionate about making music, but I'm not only making music just because I want people to know me. I'm making music because I'm out here really telling a story, you know, that, you know, to this day, I still haven't recorded the full story, you know, and I'm working on an album, and it's called Boats, based on that true story. If you put it together, every word is based on that true story, and every song that I make is actually based on that true story. Like, I'm not lying on any song that I make, you know, so.
And what do you feel that story is? So, like, for people, what do you think that story is going to do for people, for the culture, for music, for, you know, whatever in general? What is your goal? Is it like you want that person who's going through it to be able to identify and have that be kind of like their guide and their beacon to make it through? Or are you just purely like, just, I want to let it out and interpret it how you want to interpret it?
I purely want to let it out, but I also want people to know, like, if there's any people out there that's going through something similar, like, there is, like, you know, a self-control. You feel me? Like, nobody can do it on their own. You know, you gotta find those right people that find those the right group to surround yourself with, you know, to give you advice. You might not take the advice, but you can have it in the back of your mind, you know, and actually put the pieces of the puzzle together to make yourself a greater person.
I'll call those seeds. Those are seeds. Like, I'm one of those people that I see a lot of people doing things, and like you said, you're from the streets. I'm from the streets as well. And it's like, a lot of the times when you speak to people, they either are full-fledged in a situation already, and they're not looking for a way out, or they don't think there's a way out, or there's people that's already mentally thinking like, damn, I need to be finding a way out, but they don't believe there's a way out because of what we see or what we grew up in and what surrounded us, and they haven't, you know, it's a cycle in our ghettos.
Exactly.
So they don't believe it. So what I like to make sure I do is speak to someone and drop that seed and let them know, like, hey, this and that. You feel me? Like, you can do this. You can do that. You shouldn't be doing this. This right here is gonna fuck with you. This right here is what's gonna be your downfall. You feel me? Because if you say it to somebody, even if they don't take heed to it in the moment, that shit's gonna bounce back in their memory later on down the line and be like, damn, so and so did tell me that shit. And they gonna laugh at it. You feel me?
Exactly.
And hopefully they're in a situation that when it does happen, they can still come back around and fix it. You feel me? Because they're like, you know what? So and so told me this, so let me fix it now. Before it gets too late, before I catch life, before I get killed, before this and that. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
And that's my goal. My goal, it's not made for you to fucking solve the problem now. It's for you to think about the problem and let that seed grow into a full blown tree. You feel me? And sometimes it takes years, but it's a lot of plants out here, like apple trees and orange trees and all that shit. It takes seasons for them shit to come into a full fruition. And that's after they grow into a full-blown tree. You feel me?
Yeah.
You can have a tree out there you may not know is a lemon tree for fucking 5 years that you lived in our house because it's been back there growing for the last 5 years before you even moved there.
Exactly. Like, it's not going to happen overnight.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? It could take 5, 10, 20 years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like repetition.
Yes.
You know, keep doing what you're doing. Like, there's people out there who judge, who criticize, who tell you, you know, in your face or behind your back and you hear it, like, oh, he's doing this for this, he's doing this for that. But in reality, the only person that really knows what you're doing it for is you.
Yeah.
Is yourself.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, fuck what everybody gotta say, because you the only person that knows who you're doing it for.
Exactly. That's what DJ Head said from the Homegrown Radio. I'm not sure if you know who he is. Out of 92.3 The Beat. I mean, 92.
Nah.
I said The Beat. Damn, when you know I'm up when I call 92.3 The Beat. Damn,
yeah,
real.
Damn.
So yeah, Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle and DJ Head, you know, they started their shit out of a garage, and now they in a radio station right now, #1 Los Angeles radio station to be
Wasn't
exact.
it Chuck's apartment?
Yep, Chuck's apartment.
That's
Exactly.
in LA?
No, it was in Carson.
Oh shit, it was in Carson.
Exactly. It's like that's how
shit.
they started Homegrown Radio, but right now they in that iHeartMedia building in Burbank, talking to you live every single night from 5 to 11 on the radio. So when you walk out of here, you can turn on your radio and hear what I'm talking about.
Damn, I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna have to check them out.
like DJ Head said, I forgot what my point was. What was I talking about?
I don't know, but yeah, check him out. DJ Head is dope. He was over on that Netflix show.
Yeah, Rhythm and Flow with Cardi B and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was the main DJ for that even also. That's what DJ Head is.
Yeah. More importantly, I think what makes them special, because it's both Chuck and Head, but is the fact that like their journey has been 10 years in the making. And when you look at all the people that they had, like that they were interviewing back then in an apartment, it was like J-Rock, it was like Kendrick Lamar, you know, it was like these type of people. That's their journey that they made it through, and they're very open about it. And not only that, but I think them and their whole team are all about like what was it? Each one teach one.
Mm-hmm. We was talking with DJ Head and Chuck Dizzle. They both give us the same answer. Look, how the fuck do we get into the door?
We were one of the people on DJ Head's live. We were lucky enough to get added to the live, and that's how we met him.
And he would say, "You gotta kick the door in." The fuck you mean we gotta kick the door in?
Yeah, kick the door down.
You just gotta kick the door in. That's how you get in the building. If they won't let you in, kick the door in. The fuck do you mean kick the door in? We're at your door right now talking to you, saying, "How the fuck you gonna let us in? Let us in the door."
Shit, kick the door
and
down.
he was just
bro.
like, kick the door in. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And like, we'll run into Chuck Dizzle or DJ Head at an event, somewhere and be like, hey, and he'll remember us because I lied because she got the red hair and I'm a black guy, so she's I'm Mexican, she's
no,
Mexican,
he
I'm
didn't
black.
remember us until the Savi interview. He plainly stated that he was like, oh, I don't remember those times. I'm like,
oh shit.
Yeah,
Savi
it's like that. Yeah, so that's how we kicked the door in.
Damn. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You want?
Yeah.
Long story short, we're doing an event with Savi, and he was trying to actually get out and do interviews and do all these type of things.
Like Savi Third?
Yes,
huh?
Savi
Yeah,
Third.
Savi Third. Long Beach, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I know who he is. Shit, because we stay on 21st and Pine, so he, like, his hood down the street, like, literally a block away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Isn't that like where we went to go sign that contract that first time?
No, the first time was on the other side. It was in the north. But yeah.
So basically, we linked him up with Sparkle. Shout out Sparkle. She was actually willing to book him for an interview for Homegrown Radio. So because we booked that, obviously we got to be there to be the point of contact and everything. So we were the ones that were like early, there, ready, and all of that stuff while Savi arrived and everything. But that little time that we had, that we were early, we got to talk to Head. We got to Chuck. We talked to Lupe Yerena. She's also like in Homegrown Radio and in a bunch of other stuff. And that helped out so much. Just like that interaction, just like having that one-on-one talk, just the tips that they were giving, just like the inspiration that was like being in the iHeartRadio building and wanting to make it back in, like all of that just, I feel, catapulted from there. Whether it was just the motivation of it or like whatever it was, it 100% made the difference to be in the building.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, that is what they said, just get in the building.
But exactly, once we got in the building, we understood it. But it was one of those, this is at the time where Savi Third wasn't really getting backed by his label. And then when, like you said, they kept on telling us, kick the door in. Savi's like, look, I'm about to re-drop this album. This is All Eyes on 3. I'm about to re-drop this album. We're going on a promo run. I hit up DJ Head like, hey, we try to get on Homegrown Radio. He left me on scene.
Oh, man.
He left me on scene.
What you do about that?
You can't get sensitive about people leaving you on scene if they don't know you.
Right.
So what I did was I felt this was unprofessional. Maybe this is unprofessional, so let me figure out another way to do this shit. This is what he meant by kicking the door in. If there's not one way to get in there, motherfucker, figure it out. Kick it in if you got to. So what I did was I found the link of who the fuck I need to be talking to, emailed this link, and the email came back, and it wasn't DJ Head. It was Sparkle Lynn. She helps make sure the whole show stays organized, and they do what they need to be doing, and they represented by the right people. That's what she does. And she contacted me back and was like, hey, we actually been trying to get in contact with Savi Third.
What?
So
it was like, what? It was a surprise. It was a surprise to you guys? Like,
it was a surprise that we got a response because DJ Head just left me on scene. So him leaving me on scene, he could have easily said, "Oh yeah, we've been trying to get Savi Third in here."
Yeah.
Hell yeah, like he could have easily done that, but he didn't. Like he was just like, "This isn't the right way to do it," and I'm not gonna tell you the right way to do it. But if you really trying to get it here, you'll figure it out.
Exactly.
You feel me? But we figured it out and we got in there.
And that's 100% true.
Yeah, nigga, all claps to that, bro. You feel me? Like you actually did that though. You feel me? Cause like on some real shit,
tip
like
people. Email.
When most of these artists like they start hitting numbers. They start doing like big things and all that, you feel me, as far as like doing tours and actually start getting noticed, like they like start forgetting about like who's left or who was I really like messing with when I was trying to, be this person or, trying to do my thing and like who's really supporting me, who's really not supporting me, And little do they know, like the person that they think, hypothetically speaking, they think that they're not supporting them, they really are supporting them. They just don't really know that. You know what I mean?
It's an artist out there named OG Mako. I'm not sure if you know who he is. He was once under QC.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. His name OG Mako. One of his sayings that stuck with me back in 2014 was, "There's a lot of eyes out there, but there's also a lot of little U's out there." And the goal isn't to speak to the big eyes out there because those eyes already got somebody understanding them.
Right.
It's for you to speak to those little U's out there. And what I mean by U's is you. Because there's a bunch of me's out there that I can speak to. because we don't have the same story. You feel me? I'm actually a gang member.
Yeah.
But due to the fact that we both from the streets, we can still relate to each other because we understand its foundation. So when you do your music, understand that there's a lot of eyes, you out there, Mando, that's gonna fucking relate to what you speaking to. You being Hispanic, you not having a father in your household, you fall into these drugs, you selling these drugs and then fall into these drugs, you having a baby mama that run off with a child because of these drugs. Like all other, it's not just you. Yeah. So when you go in there and spit your story, talk your shit. Tell your story, open your heart up and rip that motherfucker out if you have to.
Oh yeah.
And don't be scared to, because if other people don't feel what you're speaking on, it's not for them.
Exactly.
You're speaking to the people that is gonna fuck with you. And I want you to continue, like when you make this journey and you feel like there's someone that's not fucking with you. They're not. We living in an era right now where it's about trolling. So even if they are fucking with you, they might leave a comment on your page that's saying that they're not because it sounds funny.
Yeah.
And it can be 100 people that tell you, Mando, I fuck with you, Mando, I fuck with you. Yo shit the shit. But once you get those 3 people, it don't even have to be 10. There could be 3 people that come in there and say, I'm talking about 100. 100 people gonna tell you, but you gonna get those 3 people, 103 people, those 3 people gonna tell you, Mando, I'm not. Mando, you dumb as fuck, Mando. You that. Your music ain't shit. You just this, you just that. You sound like you a deadbeat. They gonna tell you everything, and that shit gonna fuck with you.
They ain't gonna fuck with me. I
you say that now.
You know what I'm saying? I had people tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Even my own mama had told me that. My own mama had told me like she wasn't really fucking with my music because of the fact like she don't understand, right? Because she Hispanic, you feel me? So she don't understand what I'm saying, right? So it's like now, like I got a performance coming up. Me and my cousin got a couple performances coming up on this Saturday. You feel me? It's like now because of that, you feel me? Like she don't know what I'm saying because she don't understand English, but she understands like the music, like oh it sounds beautiful and shit. So now like the whole family showing up to the show on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what people say. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I believe in myself. I believe why I'm doing it. I believe who I'm doing it for. And I'm going to strive, bro, because my little man is the reason why I'm trying to shine. And he's the reason why he going to shine with me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason, bro. Because I don't give a fuck about what nobody say. And to be really honest with you, bro, this is my first performance. And it's going to be like over 300 people. You feel me? And like I have a lot of confidence in myself and just go on stage and just fuck it up.
As you should.
I don't care about what people got to say. People can talk their shit. You know what I mean? But I care less.
I'm glad you have that mindset now, this early on, because it's going to come your way. And I want you to know that you are greater than what the fuck other people are saying.
Hell yeah.
You're not doing this shit for no reason. You have a vision behind it. You have an understanding behind it. And I need you to take that and run with it the long way. You feel me? I'm talking about 5 years from now, once the money start coming in and people start acting funny and they start talking about you, my cousin, and then you tell them I don't know you, so then they start going on the line, start saying this, that about you. Deal with it, run with it, and make sure you speaking to your core base.
Hell yeah.
Because like I tell you, they gonna fuck with you, they gonna feel you. Keep talking to them, Mando. Keep letting this be your therapy, because I want you to go back to what you was doing, and it fucks you off, and it continues to leave you away from your family. You feel me? Because that's all this shit is about.
Hell yeah.
As we get older, we start realizing like that street shit was cool, but it don't mean nothing. Like I can easily go out there and just either go sell this and make X amount of money, or I can go rob so and so and make X amount of money. But it's
but motherfuckers who haven't done that, they don't know. You feel me? Like for example, like my boy here, like he know the full story. You know what I'm saying? So like every song I make, he's always there. They're always there. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm always telling the truth in my songs. I ain't fucking capping on shit. I'm surrounded, like, I went poly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I have Samoan family, you know, and like, no racial, but I was around a lot of black folks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where my attitude comes from. That's where my language comes from. That's where my culture comes from, too. But I'm also not going, you know, disappear my Hispanic appearance. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stood up for them that night. You know what I mean? Like, because whatever they were doing was not right.
No, I bugs for that because it takes someone like you to help break that gap and bridge that gap, because I'm glad that you spoke on it, because I wanted to get to it, where it's like there's a lot of tension and there's a lot of things that going on in Long Beach, where I was thinking about it today as I thought about you and Thunder Baby and everyone else, where I'm like, damn, there's a lot of shit going on in Long Beach where I see these black rappers fucking with each other, and then I see Stupid Young fucking with, these rappers, but it's like, at what point are we gonna help this black and brown gap bridge? You feel me? You don't see the tension in the outside world. Like, you don't sit here and hear no overly dissing in the music. If they do this, it's not at a race, it's at a specific gang, and I respect that. But it's like, this black and brown shit needs to continue to bring unity amongst one another, and like that's what we learned last summer as we was in quarantine, when all those paleta mans was getting robbed or getting beat, or the paleta woman, whether it was in Long Beach or Compton or South Central, like the communities of the Hispanics and the black people were coming together and was like, look, we need to figure this shit out and get it together. What I'm trying to say is, does it look like that's possible in Long Beach?
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
That's all I wanted to know.
Because it was already started. Like, it was already happening. And as far as, like, I mean, I don't know much, but how I see it, like, there's those ignorant people, and it don't matter who it is. It could be from the brown side, it could be from the black side. It's those ignorant people who are trying to ruin that us coming together part. You know what I mean? It's not everybody. It's just those specific people.
And that's what I be saying too, and that's what I be wanting to get across, because the media don't want to speak on anything. You feel me? They only push the negative part of what happened. They don't push the positive part that came afterwards or coming in between, of where we really trying to bridge this gap of unity between the black and brown community, and it's actually working. It's the real ones that's really from this and of this and understand where the destruction comes from, that know that we gotta come together and get this shit happening together.
Exactly.
And it's working. And I hate how the media continues to push and highlight the bad parts, because we can go 3 months without an incident happen, but as soon as the media highlight that negative shit, it just explodes.
Yeah.
But we've been booming together for the last 3 months.
Exactly.
But they didn't highlight that, and I don't respect that shit.
I don't respect that shit.
So I like hearing that a person from Long Beach that's not of the streets, that's sitting here making sure that they're helping bridge this gap of one another, because you, like you said, you knew these Hispanics that did this or came through and this situation happened, and you made sure that you was like, look, like, no, this isn't cool. Even though the situation still went where it went, you the non-affiliate, but you still the Hispanic, came through and was like, no, this isn't cool. You feel me?
Yeah.
And we need more of that. People need to continue to stand up for that shit, because we can go a long way, this black and brown community. This rap shit isn't a black culture or a brown culture. This is a hip-hop culture.
Exactly.
And this is about you coming out and speaking your truth and your life truth and making sure that you represent the business as well. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Cardi B, you already know she Hispanic.
Yeah.
Jim Jones, he Hispanic. You feel me? What's his name? Cameron. I don't know. He's Hispanic. I'm not gonna say that.
Shit, I don't know. I know who Cameron is.
But the other boy that's from Dipset, they Dominican and shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but y'all don't know this because New York don't push that. You not black shit. This is culture.
Exactly.
You have the hip hop culture, and you respect that shit. And we need to continue to make sure that the West Coast, as a unit, from here, from Long Beach to Orange County to IE to the north, down south to the Bay Area, San Diego, like, we a unit.
Hell yeah.
Me? Period. Black and brown make the world go round.
Hell yeah. Matter of fact, speaking about West Coast, I got a new track called My Lowest, man. It has to do a lot about the West Coast shit. It's gonna be dropping soon on all platforms, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I agree with you on that, bro, because, man, like, what they don't want is us to be together as a team. That's what they don't want. You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not a politician or that I don't politic, because I do politic at some points. It has to come down to it. You know what I'm saying? But mostly, like right now, like before I came over here, I met with my attorney, Lee Richmond Charlie. He's going towards city council. And shout out to him. Like he's gonna make it, because I know he's a great attorney, and he's into the law firm industry. So and he supports the black and brown. As far as like no racial, like, well, what's the point? Because as far as he sees it, as far as what he's experienced, like police, gang unit, all them people, like they're a gang. They're a gang. In the high society and the high power shit, they're a gang, whether believe it or not. And they support each other as far as like uncorrupted and corrupted cops. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to your lawyer. And you have a lawyer because you have a business. What's the name of your business?
I wouldn't say it's my business to start off with, but
a business that you're invested in.
Yeah, the Wet Tent. Shout out to my boy Young Hanzo. You don't know. The page is at the Wet Tent, _ Wet Tent.
Tent, TENT. I have a package of this good weed in my hand, and you can see it on camera.
Yes, sir.
If you listening to this right now, the Wet Tent. This shit looks good. I'm about to pop it open and make sure it smells good. I see a sticker on the back that says 100% organic.
Don't panic.
Hey, you heard?
It is organic.
It's organic.
It is organically grown and sympathetic. It's some good stuff, man. That's actually his first. Oh my bad. That's actually his second harvest. He spoke to me. His first harvest was all right, but he brought me into his second harvest, and I told him, because as far as me, like when I told you before, I was selling all kinds of shit in the streets, me knowing weed and all that. Like as soon as he brought me into his household and he showed me, I told him it's some good shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, bro, this is some good stuff.
These are all different nugs.
You know what I mean?
That's how sticky they are.
You know what I mean?
Just came out.
You know what I mean? So I told him, like, he kept asking me, he kept doubting himself. It was like, bro, you really think it's some good shit? I'm like, look, nigga, but I'm gonna be straight up with you. This is some good shit. Like, you know what I mean? Not as far as like me selling it and all that, but me knowing strains and me like being in the cannabis industry under the radar, like this is some good shit. You know what I mean? So we started associating, we started talking, and I'm planning on putting in like at least a G down as far as like within the next 2-3 months on more more room, more space for some more flowers to be bloomed and grown. Because right now there is 2 flowers right now in the grow room that will be ready either by the end of this month or the beginning of December. This one right here that you have in your hands right now is called Frozen Bananas. It's a hybrid dominant indica. So I'm hoping y'all like it. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on this, and I don't do it because of the money, because I don't get much off of selling an eighth or whatever. I do it because he did me a big favor. As soon as he reached out to me because of the fact that like he found out I was an ICU and my heart problem and all that stuff, he wanted to help. So he reached out to me.
Shout out to your peoples, bro. I love it. I love and I respect the fact that someone seen you in a spot and they came to help you out. You feel me? They didn't just judge you. There's a lot of people that's gonna judge you and just gonna have their opinion about something, but they're not willing to help you. I love that you had someone that came and help you out, and y'all can turn this into something that's very profitable for the both of y'all, and legitly also because cannabis right now is a great community to be in, and it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah. Let me tell you a little something.
And that's just on paper.
Yeah.
Hold on. But before, when you told me the name of this shit, you said what banana?
Frozen bananas.
When you said frozen banana, a lot of people already understand that banana is like mainly a sativa strain. So when you said that, I was like, oh, it's a hybrid sativa. When you said hybrid indica, I was like, oh, what?
No, yeah. It's a hybrid indica.
Look at it.
Oh, I see it. It look good. It's light green. It's sticky as fuck. She just brought the whole ape out, basically stuck to itself. It wasn't one nug.
Some bags don't have the humidifier in it, but some bags do. I have a couple in there. We keep it humidified in order for it to stay healthy and sticky, and it won't get dry like how other buds do.
I love the fact.
What I do.
I love the fact that you, because this is busy in music, so I love the fact that you are incorporating other things other than music, because this has been something I've been pushing for like the last month, and it's crazy because I came across G Perico saying the same shit like last week, and it's music is not here to get you rich. It's a possibility that you will get rich off of it, but it's only if you have the right team behind it that helps you and shows you how to move correctly. Music is a branding.
Yeah.
You're supposed to use your music videos. Your music is a way to get into a door, because the world loves music. It doesn't matter if you're a chef. It doesn't matter if you cut grass. It don't matter if you drive the bus. It don't matter if you out there crossing a person, the street crosser for the kids that go to school. They listen to music, and music is everywhere. You feel me? And then from music, that's where you brand everything.
Right.
So once they start fucking with your songs, it's easy for you to lay a quarter of a bar where you mention your product. Right. When you start doing your videos, it's easier for you to walk into those videos instead of wearing Dolce and Gabbana or fucking whatever these hot brands is that's out right now. You wearing your brand.
Exactly.
Because your fan base is here to see you. So when they see you and you wearing your brand, they want to look like you.
Exactly.
You feel me? And it's all about pushing your brand and coming out and pushing your businesses. You feel me? And this is one of your legit businesses that's going to bring you real money. The goal is to be able to fall asleep and make money while you're sleeping. This is one of those things.
As far as the way,
especially if you sell it at night. Like, I've been looking for a dispensary that's open past 10.
Oh, that shit. Tell me about it. But as far as the design on that wet 10, my cousin, BNN Creation, shout out to BNN Creation, she does, anything. She could do whatever you guys have on your sweaters, as far as, images, logo, designs, shirts, t-shirts, beanies, hats, pants. She can put anything on there for you, and that's what she did for the wet tent guy, because obviously she didn't know how to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to get it imprinted on the bag, because he ordered the bags, but he wanted to get it imprinted. So what she could have done for him is make the stickers, and that's what he wanted to go for starters. He wanted to start off with that, so we did it.
So hold on. So as a weed consumer, I didn't even notice that this was a fucking sticker until you just said something. That's
the sticker, man.
Look, the important part, I'm gonna let you know this as the person that's selling a product. The important part was this clear window on the back where I can see how good this weed look.
Yeah.
I see the name of it. The shit blends in with the wrap. I didn't even know it was a sticker until you just told me that your cousin had to do it differently and make it a sticker.
Hell yeah.
So your cousin did a great job, for one. For two, it's irrelevant. You ain't got to speak on that part. But three, this is important. This clear window that lets you know how good the product is.
Right.
What people fail to realize is when you start jumping into these, I'm an indica strain and I'm a sativa strain, it ups the value of the strain, but it also fucks off people mentally really getting what this weed is about. I used to be one of those people that went into a dispensary and just like, let me smell it. If it smelled great, I was grabbing it.
All right.
And then these names came out. I was like, oh, these cookies is bomb. So you're looking for this cookie. Then all of a sudden they came out with not Girl Scout cookie, but mint cookie. Thin mint cookie. And after thin mint cookie, it was this cookie and animal cookie. And that, it was like
wedding cake and all this.
Yeah, so it was
I miss the dispensaries that used to have weed in jars.
Yeah.
And they actually be like, here, smell the jar.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that. Let me tell you something about that. The mother of my child, she used to manage a shop in Wilmington. Was not licensed. This was back a couple years ago, right? Not gonna get into how the transactions were made, you know what I mean? But they used to send her about 4 pounds, about the same bud, the same weed. They would have her throw it all in jars, and they would have her make up names for it. But in reality, it was the same shit. And people will fall for it, and people would, just go.
My friend worked for a dispensary, and she literally would get to bring home samples, and she'd be like, we're going to smoke this tonight. We got to make notes on how it feels, what it tastes like, and we got to come up with some names. Be like, fuck it, we're smoking this tonight. Tastes kind of fruity. Write it down. Write it. Smoke smooth. Like, we just be giving out these notes to come up with names, just to name the shit.
When you start understanding how this shit goes in the industry, it's like this should be backdooring you low key. They be coming up with these great names that it's like, oh shit, it's gonna grab the people's attention, which is what it's supposed to do. That's marketing. That's branding.
Right.
Everything that people are doing is correct and accurate, but if the weed is trash, it's trash no matter what the fucking name of it is. You gotta smell that shit and understand what it is all about. So like I said, as a weed consumer, I didn't even notice the sticker on this bitch. All I knew that it was called the wet tent, and I knew that the back of it had a window on it that said, oh shit, this weed looks great. And it was 100% organic. That's it. So shout out to your cousin because she did a great job. Yeah. Shout out to your cousin. She did a great job.
Hell yeah. Nah, mostly shout out to my boy Young Hanzo. He's the one putting all his effort and time into making sure that this weed is actually grown organically to its fullest capacity. You know, he's putting all his time into this. He put in over 10 G's into his equipment, and he wants to see the outcome. And because of my history and me, you know, in the streets and being involved as far as a salesman, like, he thought about it while he brought me into the workshop after, you know, my health problems and all that. Like, what better than him? It's not a coincidence that I brought him into the workshop, and I known him for so long because I used to play football with him in high school. And knowing his history as far as a salesman, like, what better than him? It's not a coincidence that he's here.
Why? That's the thing. Like, that's what's going on. Like, a lot of people don't realize, actually, to tell you the truth, the main ones that's doing this shit illegally, they are going back to the people that used to sell drugs and saying, look, how could we do this? How did y'all make it work marketing? Because the streets already know how to get this shit out there. Yeah. It was just illegal when they did it, and that's why they in jail behind it. But there's a lot of people that end up coming home behind those new laws because they knew that they was going to make this shit legal before they made it legal officially. You feel me? And it was like, they're taking those people like you that's been in those situations, you know, people like Jim Jones, you know, whoever else that been in those situations of selling and knowing the people that's consumers of these type of things. It helps them get their brand out. So he was smart to come out to you, and you were also smart for investing in such an industry as cannabis. Because I love that we're wrapping it up on that note where we're going from music to the business point, and you knowing that you're using both ends to get there. You feel me? You have to have multiple streams of income. 5 may not be enough. 5 may be cool, but sometimes the goal is to have 7 to 10 streams of income. And you down the right path of having the right stream of income. You feel me? Not only that, you also know how to market now.
Right.
Use your music to market that shit. You're in a position to do it. Artists is in a position to do that shit. Music is marketing. Whether it's to market somebody's gun, to market a new car, to market if you haven't caught on, that's what the music is. Every year, it's a new gun out. How? Niggas came from 9s to 40s to 30s to Dracos. And if you look back to the music, it's literally year by year, there's a new gun that these artists are using. Year by year, it's, we went from Lamborghinis to Hellcats to now I want to, what's that new Jeep?
SRT. Shit.
Yeah, the SRT. Like,
SRT.
Like, it's marketing. Why is everybody doing the same shit? Why is everybody shooting the same gun, driving the same car? It's marketing. Once you start brainwashing people to say that this is what's cool, people run with it.
I believe it's a natural instinct to fit in. If you fit in, you are more a part of the herd, and therefore more likely to be singled out and eaten by a lion. But thank you so much, sir. So, we got weed industry, we got artists, we got rapper, we got businessman.
That's what I'm talking
Anything
about.
else that people need to know about you right now? You got the performances coming, you got the tracks dropping coming, any news of an album?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna turn an EP into an actually full album. Not featuring, but collabing with Thunder Baby, upcoming artists, Wavy Baby, and Last Year to G. They will all be in my album. I'm not gonna do an EP. I'm actually gonna extend it to a full album, you know, and I'm gonna put them all out there, and then there will be a story, number 2, to my lowest. Because in my lowest song, I'm actually talking about an actual true story that has involvement with my family. So
I fucks with that.
Where can we find you?
where can you find me? You find me _Mando X. You already know. As far as the wet tent is _wet tent. That's where you can find our closest content on what we're doing and how the weed is being grown and how organically it is and how professional is being grown and who is being grown by. You know, once again, shout out to my boy Young Hanzo, because he's the one, you know, bringing some new strains into Long Beach. Shout out to By the Way Entertainment for having me tonight, you know, and also shout out to all my supporters that, you know, help me and keep it going. And shout out to Ken Goodrich and Clever Empire, because they're the ones that produce and engineer and makes my music.
Shout out to Taylor Third, because that video shoot with Violence with FT Hop Out is the reason why we even know each other. I want to shout out another person that's in the room, Thunder Baby. If y'all don't know who he is,
he know.
Appreciate it. Nah, not Tay, I'm talking about the world, because he's in the room right now, and I want to make sure that people know that he's in the room also.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Y'all gonna hear something with him that we might do with him very soon, so don't worry. I appreciate everybody that's stopping by. I appreciate your time. I want you to keep on doing what you're doing. I'm inspired. I know you said that you're motivated by what I'm doing, but honestly, I'm inspired by what you're doing, because you could have just gave up a long time ago.
Oh yeah, trust me, I've thought about it, but my son is the one, you know, like every time I go to sleep or try to go to sleep, my son is the only image that pops up into my head, and he's the only motivation to everything I just said and everything that I will be continuing on doing, and all the collabs that I'm gonna continue to do that are upcoming.
All right, well, we're gonna keep on doing this and dedicate it to him. You can find us right now, if y'all don't know, at BUSIINMUSIC. That's Busy and Music on Instagram, and that's every platform that you can find podcasts.
And I'm Just Ellie G. You can find me at JUSTELIG. And this was Busy in Music.
Yeah.